Hello, my name is Pooja Purval. I'm an IT professional, and today we are going to dive into the topic of emotional intelligence. Though emotional intelligence is so very important to do anything in any industry, especially in IT industry, it's overlooked because we deal with hardcore technology and sometimes we forget that we are not machines and we need that human touch which can only comes with people having emotional intelligence and having a high emotional quotient. So let's dive into this topic today, which can really change your leadership game for you. In this video, we'll explore what emotional intelligence is and how you can harness its power to get you to the next level of leadership. We will also give you practical steps that you can take to harness this superpower and really change the trajectory of your career growth. So let's get started. Emotional intelligence, often referred as emotional quotient, is your ability to recognize, understand, manage, and use effectively not only your emotions but the emotions of other people as well. It's about perceiving emotions, using them for thinking, problem solving, and understanding people and connecting with them at an emotional level. Now, let's understand why emotional intelligence is so important, especially in something which is so tech centric, the world of IT. Okay. The first advantage of working from your emotional side is better communication. When you understand yourself better, when you understand the other person better, it always helps with communicating very effectively. You can communicate with the other person without having any issues. You can stop all the misunderstandings or at least reduce all the misunderstandings that can happen simply because you're not at the same level. The second thing that it helps with is better teamwork. When you feel connected to the other human beings around you, you actually perform better. You feel this feeling of belonging. And once you have this feeling of belonging, you actually have the loyalty and the hard work and that emotional connection that comes with it. Third thing it helps with is you become a better leader, you become a better human being. Even when you are purely working on technology or in technological roles, EQ enhances leadership qualities. And these are the leaders who people remember long after they have left the organizations as well. And the fourth one is stress management. It's a key tool for managing stress in teams and it prevents burnout because when you feel understood by the other person, whether your manager or your colleague, you are able to share things with them and that can help you to vent out and reduce stress and also find solutions to problems which are more linked to psychology rather than technology. So, as we saw in the fast paced IT world that we live in, teamwork and communication are very critical, and emotional intelligence can become a game changer there. Now comes the difficult part. How do you harness the power of emotional intelligence in your career? And once you actually have emotional intelligence, it doesn't only help you in your career, it helps you a lot in your personal connections as well. Your personal life would improve so much. So let's see what steps you can take to utilize the emotional intelligence at work and sometimes in your personal spaces as well. The first thing always is self awareness. So understand what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what are your emotional triggers, and what happens when those emotional triggers are in place. What are your reactions to it? How do you feel about it? So that is the first step to know because unless you understand your reactions to certain places, certain people, certain words, it becomes difficult for you to really label what is happening with you, and without the awareness it's difficult to control your reactions. So if you're somebody who is always getting angry at people or things, and if your teams are labeling you angry young man behind your backs or even to your faces, then probably it's important for you to understand what are your emotional triggers, what makes you angry, what boundaries that really gets violated that triggers the anger in you. So that's an example of one emotion. It can be something similar for many other emotions. It can be fear, it can be sadness, it can be anything else as well. It can be worry, stress, whatever you comes through basically. Second is empathy. So to understand others, you always need to practice empathy, wherein you step into the other person's shoes and try to figure out what they are going through. You understand things from their lenses, their perspectives, and that really helps to see where the person is coming from, and why they are reacting or acting the way they are. If somebody have been through a trauma recently or going through a difficult phase in life, like uh, pregnancies or divorces, or some major changes in relocation, etc., they would usually be more susceptible to even minor triggers, and that's when you need to take care of. Then you understand that, okay, this person is going through XYZ, and we need to be more empathetic, we need to be more in tune with how they are feeling, and have our communication tuned accordingly, so that they are not triggered and you get your work done as well. And that also strengthens your bond, because the other person would always know that you have their back, and when you need them, they'll never really think twice about helping you out with anything. The third thing to do is active listening. Majority of time, or almost all the times, especially if you're remotely working, we only listen to respond, and we are not really listening for understanding. So listen to understand and not just respond. When the other person feels heard, half of his problems actually get sorted then and there, because sometimes we just need somebody to listen, somebody who can be there when we want to vent out. Okay. Always remember, effective communication is a two-way street. So you cannot only keep on talking, talking, talking. You need to learn to listen also. Respond appropriately as and when required, but don't listen to respond. Listen to understand, so that your response can actually be more meaningful to the other person and helpful as well. Emotional quotient, or EQ, or even emotional intelligence, whatever terms you want to refer it with, can actually be a very good tool to have when you are doing conflict management or resolving issues between co-workers. The conflict between co-workers actually impacts the team as a whole and the work that they are doing as well. Having a healthy open environment is very, very important and conducive to have high performing teams, and emotional intelligence plays a very big role there. So you should also learn emotional intelligence and practice it to have effective conflict management in your team and build constructive solutions to the problems that people may have. Another good place to have emotional intelligence in place is stress management. Implement stress reduction techniques like mindfulness and time management within your team. I remember when we were going through the COVID times, the first lockdown, and everybody was so afraid and stressed. And we were simply just working from our homes. And it was very, very stressful for everybody. Children were locked inside the homes. They couldn't go out, they couldn't play. Spouses were working in the same rooms at times, uh, getting into each other's calls. And that actually created a lot of stress and personal emotional management. And my manager at that time suggested that we do regular meditation sessions for the team, so that we are all remain mostly same. And it really helped us. So taking those actions based on whatever your team is going through can really, really help your team and make you a very, very exceptional leader as well. Now, by practicing these skills, you will not only excel in your technical career, but you will also thrive in the interpersonal skills department, and you will build relations which would last you for a lifetime. Remember, your IT career is not only about coding or problem solving or decision making. It's about connecting and leading your people in the right way. And emotional intelligence is that superpower that will help you thrive in this professional journey. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you need anything else or have any queries on how to practice emotional intelligence in certain situations or any personal problems, feel free to write to me in comment and I'll surely get back to you. Thank you.